address the members on the judicial implications. She will be giving her insights on the law, on the compliance part. Really glad that she was just a call away. I called her and I invited her. I told her, madam, please come over and educate us, tell us your views on the law, how we should be taking it up as auditors, as consultants. So I'm really happy that Madam Preetham and she agreed to come over and join us today. Hearty welcome to Madam Preetham.
I request CA Alan Joseph, member for Casa of Ernakulam branch of ICAI, to present a flower bouquet to Advocate Preetham.
And to do a presentation, to give the whatever is there in the law, to give it in the form of a PPT and take a technical session today. We have again the technical secretary of RERA, so he will also be addressing all of us in the next session. So a hearty welcome to Mr. Prashant H, technical secretary of RERA.
I request CA Jose KV,
Madam Preetham, member Kerala RERA. Shri Prashant, technical secretary Kerala RERA. Vice Chairman of the Ernakulam branch, Shri, and the managing committee members, past chairman, senior members, friends, ladies and gentlemen. RERA is a law which is relatively new to us. And perhaps this has been viewed as an area which is more akin to an advocate practice. But then, as the law was implemented and we got a glimpse of it, perhaps most of us would have realized that this is a law in which we have a major role to play as chartered accountants, whether we are a statutory auditor or an internal auditor or an advisor to our clients. Initially, in fact, I had a feeling the relevance of RERA and Kerala, as we all know, is one state where this subject is of utmost importance. Real estate, construction, housing sector, there are many malls coming up, and the relevance of RERA is only going to increase multifold. And we are in times where we have seen one of the sad, but perhaps one of the most spectacular engineering of this, marvel that we have witnessed in the form of an implosion and demolition of buildings recently that we saw. We all would have had a glimpse of it in the TV. All of us must have for a moment felt sad about what's happening, but another way of looking at it is, yes, law is finally getting implemented, and it is not so easy. One can't get away with everything. There might have been a moment when every one of us thought that finally, perhaps we could get away with this. Demolition is really not going to happen. And then we saw it actually happen. So we are in times where compliance is of utmost importance. Gone are the days when we have to think about how to dodge a law. Days have come when we have to understand how we can be compliant, because that itself is difficult. Complying the law verbatim, complying the law in the true sense of the word is not that easy. Because one law cannot be seen in isolation. We do understand that RERA, GST and income tax, at least these three laws from the perspective of a chartered accountant have to be viewed in synchronization. Perhaps we may have to draw a table, we may have to tabulate the provisions of these three laws and find out how our client can be compliant in all the three at the same time. It's also important for us to know the rights of our clients who are customers, who are purchasing flats, who are purchasing offices, or who are getting into any kind of agreement relating to this sector. So the relevance of the law is that much today. So that's the reason why I feel today we thought we'll have a full-fledged seminar focusing on real estate, construction sector, on RERA, and on last month for another official meeting when I got an opportunity to meet him. Then I called him up, he immediately invited me over. And he was sharing me certain insights, which perhaps was shocking for me to hear. When he spoke about the compliance levels, the things are yet to be done, the awareness that still people don't have, whatever he told me, I think rang a bell in my mind that this is something which we all should know about and we all must advise our clients about. In fact, he was kind enough to circulate an e-booklet which he told me, he called me a couple of days back and he said this has to be circulated to all the members and if possible circulate it before the program so that they can have a reading by the time they come for the sessions. And I hope you all received the email. We have sent the booklets. It's also there in the printed matter that we have circulated today. Plus the booklets, separate booklets, they have also brought the booklets with them when they came. It is also available, which gives a highlight, a basic insight into RERA. I think it is really an honor that he has come over here and he has told me that he will be sharing his thoughts on implementation of RERA and the safeguards and what we as chartered accountants have to do as intermediaries in communicating the consequences and how to comply with the law to our clients. Hearty welcome to Shri Kurian. Thank you, sir, for coming over.
Present the floor to our chief guest.
Thank you.
And last but not the least, really happy to see such a large turnout for the program. That shows the importance of the subject, RERA, its implications, and also the importance of updating ourselves on GST aspect related to construction and housing sector. We already heard some updates on GST by CM Mohan Levy in the morning. And afternoon we have an exclusive session on GST vis-a-vis construction housing sector by Advocate Vaidishwaran, and he will also be touching on.
Sir.
Contribution of the real estate and also a great employment provider in the country. But unfortunately, things were not not going very well. The last decade or so, things have gone very bad. A lot of, reasons are many, but the results are that the home buyers are going to a stage where the real estate sector has gone to a stage where the trust between the consumer and the provider. Reasons for that. A lot of people diverted the money given by the people. Some companies their finances are not either in the legal field or at least experience is the one I have. Some are there they don't people all around, and that's the type of advantage that they have. But the law is as led by me for the last 2 months the law. But itself, for example, Maharashtra or UP, they started functioning from 2017. Our state was very lax in bringing out the rules. Rules came in 2018 June, and the RERA was constituted October 2019. We also equally protects the interest of other stakeholders. Direct stakeholders in this are the real estate developers. They are called promoters in the law, and the home buyers, they are called allottees, not necessarily home but even shops. And there is another third person called real estate agents. Rest of the professionals, like most of us, real estate means only homes, flats, villas. But this includes flats, villas, plot development, and also commercial real estate, office, shops, malls, etc., where the developer wants to give it on pure rent, annual rent, it doesn't apply. But if his intention is to rent it on long-term basis, sell it or on long-term lease, they are also coming. That is basically to protect the lessee's rights, not only through the civil law, but this also has remedies in that thing. So the real estate means then it comes the houses, plots and commercial real estate. All need to register with the authorities first, that's the first requirement. The promoters has to register for each project. I think that brochure which I have given to you gives all primary details. I am going to fundamentals what we need to know. How as a stakeholder professional in this, how do we enforce this? Now we started in Kerala very late, I said. We said 1st February. I estimate that there is around 500 to 600 number of real estate projects which need to come to register now. Now the registration is required for ongoing projects which have not received occupancy certificate as on 31/3/2000, because the law provides that 3 months grace period is given to the ongoing projects. So those who are getting occupancy certificate, that is the final occupancy certificate in the municipality or Panchayat corporation, till 31/3 need not register. The most important section is that section 3, that before somebody in a real estate project advertise, book, sell, any marketing or anything, he needs a RERA registration. Violation of that law is punishable with penalty and a penalty amount which may go up to 10% of the project cost. So as a professional, we need to know if somebody is not registering, the cost to that company is going to be 10% in terms of money apart from criminal prosecution. So first thing is, for my advice to you is, if you have clients of that sort, real estate developers, please advise them to register very fast. That's the first thing I would like you to do. Most people. That is the first thing that register very fast. Once 31/3/2020 passes, all the ongoing project guys will have to suffer these consequences. That's very strict law on that. New projects anyway, without registration, they cannot advertise or sell. New projects, because only one has come to us now, out of 25, 1 or 2 has come. Thus, people are not coming forward. Now, I was just telling Shri, we do know it very well. I know it very well. The Indian businessmen, how to circumvent the law is what advice they must be asking you. Complying with the law is not the first preference of any businessman in India. I have seen this world for long, Indian system for long. You have seen much more, many of the senior people have seen much more. Do anybody comes and there is a law, please advise me how to comply it. Very little advices will be sought. How to get about this, get around this and violate this will be the most sought after advice. That's the way we are all accustomed to. Taxes, how I can avoid tax is the first advice. Isn't it? Payment of tax is not the first. How I will pay rightly is nobody will ask me. How much I can reduce is the question they ask me. I know it. So this is our tendency. That's the culture that we have. So similar advices, even if you are not an auditor of a company, they may come for professional consultation to you. If you are statutory auditor, definitely your company will ask you. I've seen chartered accountants who have been advising companies, because I've been chairing or a director in many companies here. Listed companies, so everything else they have advice. Their advice is very, very valuable. And every company values it very well. So you need to make this advice first. Either advice or as an auditor, you must tell them that register first. Whether it is a project which is now stopped, even then they have to. There are many projects which are stopped now due to financial problems or fund diversion or whatever it is. They are stopped now, but they need to come and register. Once they register, even then cases will lie against them from the buyers. There are chances will file cases with us. So the first most important thing is that advise everybody to register. That registration fee is slightly high in Kerala because our expenditure of authority is same for even a big state and ours. Ours is actually slightly high. For new projects it is 50 rupees per square meter and plus 10 rupees per square meter of land. It's not much. So it comes to, I have taken a calculation for you because we calculate very fast. An average flat cost per square meter is around 50,000, 5,000 square feet. and that 50 rupees for a new project is 0.001% will be added to the cost. That is all it is. Even then they are trying to avoid that. They are trying to say that it is a very high. Many of the people are, their association people are also great. Kerala's association, what they do. Their basic job is not to bring in professionalism among their members. The association leaders will always say how to circumvent the law. That is their advice. They say we will reduce it from 50 to 20 to wait for registration. This is the advice that they give. And that's not going to happen. But they are going to suffer. As professionals, you should advise them to comply with the law. That's my first request to you. Tell everybody to comply with the law. These consequences are very high. I don't know which project can have a hit of 10% of the project cost as penalty. Apart from the criminal thing, which is after the penalty is imposed. If they don't pay, they will have to go to jail. So the 10% no project can take. That is advice that you will be finished if you don't register. That they ought to know it when you have to make the request. The second part where the chartered accountants comes, the most important things in the AMC, is you are professionally required in implementation of this law. One of the next requirement, that is section 4, there are so many requirements in that thing. One of the requirement is that the advances taken from the allottees, 70% of that money has to be deposited in a designated account in a scheduled bank. So every project they have to open an account. And from that account, they can withdraw money only after taking certificate from a chartered accountant, from an architect, from the engineer, stating basically that certificate only says that the copies will give you the chart that our regulations will bring out that form. That you have to certify that the percentage of what done. The chartered accountant has to certify from the amount spent on the account. That means every project has to keep a separate book of accounts. You see the expenditure from that and say that the work completion, if the project cost is 100 crores, to 30 crores have been spent, then you will say 30% of money financially is spent on that. You have to certify 30% is spent. Now he can withdraw only amount up to that 30%. You remember earlier people used to collect 100% advance, offering them 20% less. Today there is no meaning. Even if I take 1 crore for a flat in advance, 70 lakhs he has to put in the designated account. And he can take all the 70% only when the building is complete. That is the biggest protection given to the consumer now, that the promoter, the developer cannot divert the money. He can only use in the project. Money has to be kept in the designated account. It can be withdrawn only in proportion to the completion of the project. These 3 independent certificates has to come. I mean, engineer certificate, architect certificate, and those certificates don't have to be submitted to me and to the authority, or anybody need to permit that. He has to honestly do that. That honesty is very important. Now, if somebody has done it, that comes to the authorities notice, penalty up to 5% can be imposed for one irregular withdrawal of money. The penalty imposed is 5% of the project cost up to. The authority can decide depending on the quantum. This is up to 5%. So one can go up to 5% if he is many times you have withdrawn the money from the account, as not mentioned in the law. That means not in proportion to the completion of work. If he has withdrawn more money, the implications are very high for the project or the company. Then the third thing in chartered account directly comes in this picture is an annual certification is required. After within 6 months of the end of the financial year, before September 30th, each of these projects has to be audited and has to be certified about the total money received, total money spent, and also you have to certify that each of the withdrawal from this designated account is according to the law. These are the 2 certificates that is under 2 certificates. This annual certificate, we will publish it also in our website. That has to be uploaded and it has to be published in the website so that the consumers of that project knows that during last 1 year this much money has been received in that particular project and so much has been spent, and it has always been withdrawn according to the law from the designated account. That's a very, very important certification. So these 2 professional certifications the chartered accountants will have to do in future. apart from your statutory audit or whatever you learn. So I personally feel that you have tremendous job to do in this, to advise your clients and also do the certification correctly. These are the two direct things that I want to say. Now, apart from that, you are also a homemaker. You are also advising to many of your friends, relatives, everybody will ask. You are a very important person for them. Your other companies must be investing in real estate. You will have to advise to them. So there are so many other parts of the law which my colleague Prashant will be making a presentation. We will sit here and then have an interaction. My advice in the beginning is only these three. One is advise everybody to register fast. Every new project has to be registered before they market or advertise or whatever it is. Then I don't think agent companies are there. Yes, agent companies will be there. There also you will get involved, advise them to register. Then your clients otherwise may be investing in flats or shops or something. Advise them that only take from a registered, RERA registered developer. As applicable to you as a customer also. Don't deal with an unregistered project. Don't deal with an unregistered agent. This is advice for everybody, for all homeowners, which you can give other professional to your companies in which you are associated or the individuals. Your own company's MD must be looking so many flats. Now in Kerala, basically what happens is, my observation may not be very correct, that more than 50% of the flats were invested as investment only, not for stay. Those complaints, people who are coming, they want 2-3 houses otherwise. Kerala has very little opportunity for investment. Kerala's surroundings are very little open. I have been investment promotion secretary for many years, trying to promote people. Opportunities are less. You as chartered accountants or Malayalis are also not very positive towards investing in capital markets. Because of stock administering, we don't believe in investing in capital market probably. So most of the Gulf guys have money and they are investing in real estate as an investment. And in the 90s or early first decade of this century, the market was going very high. People were able to sell and make money, or they were having a perceived feeling, my flat is costing 50% more. So that attracted. So probably a lot of over investment came and the market doesn't give that return today. That is one reason why people are not very bullish to invest. Those scenarios have to change. Now as professionals, you have tremendous amount of work to do on this, to advise your clients and even home buyers that we need to go in for that little thing as a generalist I am speaking, or general industrial industry. Flats are more environment friendly, contrary to the general belief in the 90s in Kerala. That is one reason why we have not promoted flats. Even today there is no government policy says that we are in favor of creation of more flats. Kerala's culture, you and me want to have an independent house, is a culture for millennia in Kerala. You have our own farmhouse and our house in that thing. Or anyway, Malayalam is a kedakadam. Kedakadam is a veedalla. We roti kapda makan. Makan madi. Here makan matram bora. Here bhumi bora. That is kedapadam. But kedapadam is life motion belief Kerala. A bhumi oda getting vangi. അയൽവക്കക്കാരുടെ ഒന്നും കാണാതെ നല്ല പൊക്കത്തിൽ മതിലുണ്ടാക്കി എനിക്ക് താമസിക്കണം എന്നുള്ളത് ഒരു കൾച്ചർ. ഇപ്പോൾ ഫ്ലാറ്റ് എന്ന് പറയുമ്പോൾ അതിൽ അപ്പുറത്തും ഇപ്പുറത്തും എല്ലാ അയൽവക്കക്കാരും എല്ലാവരെയും മുഴുവൻ കാണുകയും ചെയ്യും. അപ്പോൾ അതിനോടൊരു വിമുഖത ആദ്യം ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നു. പുതിയ ജനറേഷൻ അത് മാറി വരുന്നുണ്ട്. അപ്പോൾ ഈവൻ ഇൻ ഔട്ട്സ്കേർട്സ് ഓഫ് ദി ടൗണിൻ്റെ പുറത്തുള്ള സത്രബാൻ പഞ്ചായത്തിലോ ഈവൻ എനി അതർ പഞ്ചായത്ത് യു നീഡ് ടു ഹാവ് മോർ ഓഫ് ഫ്ലാറ്റ് ബിക്കോസ് ദാറ്റ്സ് മോർ എൻവയറമെൻറ്റ് ഫ്രണ്ട്ലി. Public investment would be much less required. I was imagining if 30%, 40% of the people were living in flats, the electricity board would not have spent so much of money in running LT lamps through each of these houses. That costed us now as customers. All those investments they are taking back as current charges from us. Look at the lakhs of kilometers that we have drawn to individual houses and LT lines. And if people are living in clusters like the rest of the country or rest of the world, those costs would have been less. Cost of water supply. And now we say by 2024 or something, we'll have 100% piped water supply. In the discussion I was telling water already, that if you are taking water pumping and coming into the pipe, we should take as the pipe water supply in Kerala. So otherwise, if you give 85 lakh houses, piped water supply, the amount of pipeline need to be drawn in Kerala must be 20 times more than an average thing in another state where villages live together in a habitation. So it has costed a lot, and individual houses consume at least double amount of materials, the quarry materials, the cement, the metal, the sand, everything. So from many point of view, some sort of a clustered housing is very important for Kerala's future. So that's the way this industry has to be steered. My authority is not regulatory authority alone, it is also a developmental authority. So we need to advise the government how to. I was now told that there is a housing policy, the habitation policy is newly being developed, newly being discussed. There one has to openly advocate for this. In 2008 or something, the habitat policy came, which nobody bothered. There itself I was arguing that we have to promote clustered housing, basically apartments or gated community, what you call villas, everything will be economically more efficient, environmentally much more friendly, and that is the only way a lot of land will become free. Look at all other developed countries, how when people move into urban areas, their rural areas become free. They could keep the environment much better than Kerala. Look at the way that you can dispose the solid waste if it is in a flat or a closed community than each fellow living elsewhere. So Kerala needs to very proactively bring out this policy of habitation slowly. It's not that against the wishes of the people you can do it. But it's through policy, one can have been advising government saying that you reduce the tax of flats or this clustered living and increases the property tax of independent houses, including my house, much more than what is today. These are certain government policies which can encourage clustered living. Clustered living is very, very important in terms of security. Look at the way the security in each house, security is a bit difficult, especially when a lot of outsiders comes and stay here. Security has become an issue of late now. So from many point of view, one needs to. So as professionals who are advising everybody and taking decisions about your own life, your own ward's life, and your own friend's life, it is very much advisable. It's not because I am in this job that I am now saying. I've been saying this for many years, looking at the better future of the state. Many environmentalists have been saying that the floods are being, that is against the environment. I don't know on what basis. One basis I can understand. For the first time when I was flying and landing to the naval airport here, you were at that time mostly landing on a coconut canopy. Many of you would have experienced that. Today you don't see that. You see only high-rise buildings. So the one which you saw as a very green cover is gone. That much environment is affected. There is no development possible without affecting environment one way or other. What we can do is overall impact on the environment and overall benefit to the humankind better. That policy has to be adopted. So that also I'm just telling you as a important persons in the society, one need to keep that in mind as well. So when Prashant takes the detailed presentation, you would have more doubts. We'll sit here and answer after his presentation. I think that's the course that I want to take. Probably if you've gone through the brochure, you would have understood it fundamentally what it is. To end, I would only say fundamentally this is to protect the interests of the consumers and also see that in long term the sector develops. Kerala basically needs to boost the sector now because our employment generation from the sector has come down. The tax revenue of the state has also come down drastically because of this stagnancy in the real estate sector, which contribute heavily to the taxes. So, in our point of view, all of us have to work together and see that the trust is regained in the sector and more people buy flats or houses in this manner. We seek your help and also promise to work together. If you have any difficulties on certificate forms or something, we will be issuing it next week. Somebody go through this, and if you have any changes required, please suggest. Because once we issue the regulations, it becomes the law. The authority has the power to issue regulations, prescribing the forms and all that. We are going to prescribe this. Those forms copies are available. Just a few of them go through. If you go through that thing, if there are any changes, please suggest. So with these words, I declare this workshop as inaugurated, and I will be there to answer the questions. Thank you very much.
Chief Guest, Chairman, Kerala Real Estate Regulatory Authority, Shri Kurian IAS, Member, RERA, Madam Vedanand, Technical Secretary, Shri Prashant, my dear seniors, colleagues and friends in profession. At last, the long-awaited Kerala Real Estate Regulatory Authority has come in force in Kerala since 1/1/2020. It is expected that RERA will bring more professionalism, transparency and accountability in hitherto unorganized real estate sector through more controls, compliances and regulations, and instill more confidence